Good morning students. As you know that we are studying your chapter 5th, which is separation of substances. So far in this chapter we have understood various techniques of separation and the need for separation. Today we will study about evaporation and condensation. Firstly students, the process of conversion of water into its vapor, it is called evaporation. The process of evaporation takes place continuously wherever water is present. Now, you must know that when we put wet clothes outside, after some time they get dry. A mopped floor which looks wet, within few minutes it get dried. These two things, these are happening just because of evaporation. Now students, where do you think salt come from? If you are confused, then sea water. We get salt from seawater, some salty lakes, and even from rocks. Seawater contains many salt mixed in it. One of these salt is common salt. When seawater is allowed to stand in shallow pits, as you can see in this picture, okay, here seawater is allowed to stand in shallow pits, water get heated by sunlight and slowly turn into water vapor through the process of evaporation. In few days, the water evaporates completely, leaving behind the solid salt. But that salt is not fit for eating at that particular time. Common salt is then obtained from its mixture of salt by further purification. So, you must have understood the process of evaporation. Now, students, we will understand what is condensation. The process of conversion of water vapor into its liquid form is called condensation. Yes, condensation is opposite process of evaporation. Evaporation occurs when we heat water or when water get heated by sunlight or any other mean. But condensation process occurs when your water vapor gets cool. When they get cool, then they will condense. So here in this picture you can see that a kettle has been placed on fire, and by taking the heat of fire, the water present in this kettle is getting evaporated and the water vapors are coming out of the kettle. Now here we have taken a plate on which there are some pieces of ice cubes. Now what will happen is these water vapor will come in contact with this plate which is having your ice cubes, and here the process of condensation will start, and these water vapor will condense to form tiny water droplet, and these water droplet will be collected in a beaker in such manner. So students, as I earlier said, when your water get heat, it evaporates, and when water vapor they are cooled, then they condense to form water droplets. In the process of formation of cloud, these two processes happens simultaneously. Firstly, the water from all the water bodies get evaporated and these water vapor rises up in the atmosphere where they get condensed and they form clouds. When the clouds become heavy and they are not able to hold the water, at that time they rains. Evaporation can be used to separate a solid dissolved in a liquid. As we studied how we can separate salt from water, in the similar manner, we can separate a solid from a liquid if your liquid undergoes the process of evaporation. Like we can separate dye from ink. Okay, ink is a mixture of water and your dye, so we can separate them using this process. Now students, we have understood today about your evaporation process and your condensation process. So in case of any query, let me know, and keep learning, keep asking.